saying that, do we have video of these so-called people that were engaged in this? Because if we have video of this, we don't need to see the video. We don't need to see child, but we would like to see the people that was in the video, if that's a thing, to be perp walked, to be exposed. I think it's quite important. President Donald J. Trump. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki. I'm just another brown girl in America. And I want to thank all my return folk for stopping back in. Don't forget to hit the like button, share this to your friends and families, drop a comment, say hey, a heart. Let me know what you think about the content we're going to be speaking about. If you're new here, that means we're friends. That means you like, comment, and subscribe. Okay? If you like what you're hearing, subscribe. We can stay friends. Yeah. And all are welcome. All are welcome. Okay? So, but today, I want to talk about the Epstein Pam Bondi fallout. I wasn't going to talk too much about it, but apparently it's not going away. Okay? It's not going away. And however, some people want it to go away. Now, I don't know if you all remember, we know about the whole Epstein files, the debacle, the list. Now, the Trump administration, they did say this on the campaign trail. They said we were going to get JFK files released, Martin Luther King files released, and the Epstein files. We wanted to find out what is going on. Who are the big major players? All these top important people from other countries, stars, actors, politicians that have been participating in the shenanigans that Jeffrey Epstein was participating in this big giant blackmail ring. So just to kind of bring you back up to speed, let me just show you the passion and the vigor that Pam Bondi had. And this is what she said we were going to get.
Maybe releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay. So now looking back on this, because I'll get to that later. But other people were saying something different. But now there's nothing. Now, nothing worth mentioning. It's just on the desk. But we're going to get it out to you. All right? Now she's saying ain't no file, ain't no list. No, we all know about this list. There's no list. There's really nothing. He unalived himself, which I can't say neither here nor there, but it is very fishy. There was a minute of that tape missing. But inquiry minds want to know, Miss Pam. Okay, we want to know. This is what you said. We want to know before you said it. You guys said that this is what was going to happen. But now it seems like some finessing going on. So then I ran across this video of a cabinet meeting. Well, it was the cabinet meeting. And of course, the press wants answers. So they asked Miss Bondi, but take a look at what happened.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, yes, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former labor secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the set?
Yeah, sure. If
Pam, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the.
Mr. President, how you mad? How you gonna get an attitude? How are you mad? Because if this was the other way around, oh, you would beat this like a dead horse. Let's just be real. We come here to be real, right? We ain't no cult. We ain't in no think bubble. We got our own brains, unlike another party. I still rock with them, but dude, no. You cannot shut this down, because if it was the other way around, everybody knows you will beat it like a dead horse. So don't get mad at the media because they happen to be doing their job for you at the wrong time. That boy said, are we still talking about this?
The things like, and are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on that.
Now you see how he framed that. Do you want to waste the time doing this? He's basically cueing her to just leave it alone. Don't engage. Whatever. But no, she wants to engage. She wants to defend her position. Let her talk. Now, he has to say if you want to, but I'll let her answer after he already tried to shut it down, say what he had to say, let everybody know he don't want to talk about it. He don't want to talk about this. Okay? But he also had to say, unless you want to, go ahead. Because otherwise we'll be like, oh, this is how that works. So no, he do not want to talk about this. But let's see what she say.
Epstein, at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge.
Now, this is what I will say about the videos. If what she's saying is true, and these videos have children in there doing unspeakable things or having unspeakable things done to them, that would say, are we saying that, do we have video of these so-called people that were engaged in this? Because if we have video of this, we don't need to see the video. We don't need to see child, but we would like to see the people that was in the video, if that's a thing, to be perp walked, to be exposed. I think it's quite important, President Donald J. Trump, that if you got politicians, actors, foreign leaders from other countries, all these people that have been blackmailed doing unspeakable things, I think it would behoove us to know that we have a child ring going on across the world. The world. So I don't want to hear nothing about kids, babies, and all of this other stuff from Democrats, Republican, and nobody else. I don't want to hear none of it until we get those names and them people get locked up.
Knowledge about that, we can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
That's all she got to say about that. Now, I want to know, so do y'all remember when they had the influencers come up there some months ago, like they had all this information and all these files that they was giving away? That wasn't nothing but a photo op. Y'all remember, and they had the big picture and everything. They all came out with the files with these big folders, like, hey. Then you open the folder, it wasn't nothing but black marker Xing out lines, pretty much the whole thing, which means it's redacted information, stuff we already knew. What the, like, don't do that. Like, don't do that. Don't play in our damn face. Shoot, he ain't the only one don't want to talk about it. So I was watching the news, and then they weren't talking about the case, but of course it had to be brought up. And listen to him.
Before I let you go, over the weekend, President Trump said that the allegations in the Jeffrey Epstein files were at least partly fabrications from Democrats, which is why they should not be released. But there are a lot of people in his movement, like Steve Bannon, who say no dice. They want a special counsel. They want everything to come out. What should happen in this Jeffrey Epstein morass?
Listen, I'm probably not the person to ask because I don't speak in conspiracy theory, but at the end of the day, there's a lot bigger issues facing this country than Jeffrey Epstein. The guy is dead and buried. Let's move on.
Okay, and so we will.
No. Now you want to move on. Oh, he's dead and buried. Why are we still talking about this? You know why we talking about it. Y'all the one brought it back up. Now, I will say this, just for anybody that's thinking anything cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. If, and it's just common sense, the way the Democrats go so hard, the way they use the lawfare against him, the way they tried to assassinate him, which was the anniversary of that yesterday, by the way, the way they tried to assassinate him, sue him, the way they doing now, do you think if there was anything, because they had a hold to them files before this administration ever came along. They've been had these files, all that information redacted. They've been able to play with them files a long time ago. But do you think that if anything was in that file about President Donald J. Trump, if you think for a second that they wouldn't have exposed that, leaked that, figured out a way to do it without incriminating their friends? Oh, they would have done it. They would have done it. We would have known. They would have figured it out. So I don't want to hear it. Now, unless they couldn't use that because they all in on it. It's too many players from all over the place. You pull this little string, you know how you get some thread, and you see a little thread on your clothes, and you're like, oh, and then you pull that little thread, and then you pull the thread, and the whole dang on thing unravel. Voila. So, I don't know. But President Trump's still doubling down, so let's see what he had to say. Not playing.
Welcome back in Alive Now. I'm Austin Westfall. A live look at the White House, where it's approaching 7 p.m. in the nation's capital. Some breaking news to get to. President Trump is defending his attorney general amid the Department of Justice's Epstein files criticism. President Trump posting a lengthy statement on his platform, Truth Social, I've got the entire thing in front of me here, just to give you an idea of how long this post is. That's what we're working with. I'm going to read the full thing. We were covering this last night, some of the internal disputes, if you want to put it that way, between Bondi and the FBI's Dan Bongino related to the Epstein files. This is what Trump said on Truth Social moments ago. I'm reading it verbatim. What's going on with my boys and in some cases, gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it, all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, Crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents?
Because we expected y'all to go through it. We know they crooked, but we also expected y'all to figure this shit out.
The laptop from hell, and more. They created the Epstein files just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me, and now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? They haven't even given up on the John F. Kennedy.
Now I did. Now, okay. I just said that. Now I actually, when I found this, I didn't want to listen to the whole letter by myself. I wanted to listen to it with y'all. But I just said that, like, why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they destroy the MAGA movement if they had anything in them files on the MAGA movement? So I did just say that. But FYI, I did not watch this before.
Or Martin Luther King Jr. files. No matter how much success we have had securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons, it's never enough.
That's the lady right there that's in jail right now, his girlfriend. So of course she not saying anything, but she just been gone. Ain't said nothing, like crap. I don't even know.
For some people, we are about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in over 100 years. And we have so much more to do, Trump says. He continues, we are saving our country and making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. Kash Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, and arresting thugs and criminals instead of spending months and months looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Let Pam Bondi do her job, Trump says. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and they tried to do the same thing in 2024. That's what she's looking into as AG and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cared about. The final sentence reads, thank you for your attention to this matter. All right, that's the full thing. Read it verbatim. President Trump responding to some of the reports out there about some of the internal friction with his FBI and his Attorney General. One of the questions last night was, how does FBI Director Kash Patel fit into all of this? This is what he sent out today. He says, the conspiracy theories just aren't true. Never have been. It's an honor to serve the President of the United States, and I'll continue to do so for as long as he calls on me. Time will tell where Dan Bongino fits into this. Axios had an exclusive saying that he and Bondi got into an argument at the White House. In fact, it was reported that he didn't go to work on Friday. So we're waiting to hear more from Bongino. Also from Bondi as well. But that's what Kash Patel is saying, and that's how President Trump is weighing in as well. All right, a live look at the White House, about 7 on the nose.
Well, Y'all saw the previous video. Pam said what she said. Pam said, that's all I got to say about that. That's what she said. So I don't know. Will we hear from her? But apparently, so he just said they got into this like heated argument, right? I like to know what actually happened. Like I'd be wishing recordings come out, but that's just me being nosy. I want to know what happened. What was said? What did he say that made him not come to work? And so it's rumored that he might be quitting. So we're going to take a look at the 5 and see what they got to say about this. And then we'll get you out of here.
Is telling Fox News that FBI Director Dan Bongino is thinking of resigning from the agency after taking issue with Attorney General Pam Bondi over the handling of those files.
Chanley Painter joins us with details on that.
Hey, good morning again, guys.
And before they get started, anybody that knows Dan Bongino or followed him or anything like that, he been a beast, a staunch beast on this. He been on this for years. Like he had a sweet tooth for this. So I could understand how, that's why I wish I knew what was said, because I could understand and I could imagine how furious he was. What is going on? Because he went hard on this case. I believe he even accepted the job just so he can get this done. Like, what did he say?
According to sources to Fox News Digital, this all comes on the heels of a heated argument between FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino and Attorney General Pam Bondi that occurred on Wednesday at the White House over the Justice Department's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. And this after the DOJ and FBI on Sunday released a joint review walking back its claims about an Epstein celebrity client list that apparently never existed. Sources also saying Bongino is considering resigning and took a day off from work on Friday due to his frustrations. But the White House is sticking up for Bondi, saying this, quote, President Trump is proud of Attorney General Bondi's efforts to execute his Make America Safe Again agenda, restore the integrity of the Department of Justice, and bring justice to victims of crime. The continued fixation on sowing division in President Trump's cabinet is baseless and unfounded in reality. The deputy AG pushed back on reports of internal strife, posting, quote, I worked closely with the FBI director and deputy director on the joint FBI and DOJ memo regarding the Epstein files. All of us signed off on the contents of the memo and the conclusions stated in the memo. The suggestion by anyone that there was any daylight between the FBI and the DOJ leadership on this memo's composition and release is patently false. While Bongino's next move is unclear, sources tell Fox News Digital Bondi and Kash Patel, the FBI director, both have no intention of stepping down, guys.
Thank
All
you,
right, Chanley, thank you.
Chanley.
And of course, this case goes back a ways where you have Jeffrey Epstein, who originally back in the earlier teens gets a sweetheart deal, or actually it was the late aughts, I think, gets a sweetheart deal with federal prosecutors. They clearly knew a whole lot about what he was up to with the Lolita Express and his island in the Caribbean, and managed to get a sweetheart deal. Powerful people in powerful places, a lot of money, which leads to lots and lots of very legitimate and serious questions about how he wasn't jailed earlier. For some of the things that we do know about now.
Right, and the former Trump administration official Acosta said that he was told to back off of Epstein, that he belonged to us, meaning the American intel agencies.
So what do you make of the dust-up between Bongino and Bondi? What do you think?
Well, let's listen to what Dan Bongino said on...
Hold on, before they even do that. So let's talk about this list. So here's the thing about the list. First of all, y'all lied. Somebody lied, of course. First it was a list with all these names. Now all of a sudden it's not a list. Who on the damn list? Now here's the thing about lists, because I got to be fair. You got a man that was blackmailing people, world officials, politicians, actors, stars, all these different type of people, blackmailing them. They were allegedly doing child, despicable things. So you put a list out with just names of business names and all of this, that don't necessarily mean all those people was involved in it. So it would actually be irresponsible to put the list out with all these names on there and not being able to prove that they were involved in that child ring. So I get that. But at the same time, like you've seen in the other clip, if she's saying that those videos out there and it's only child, who in the video? Is it anybody in the video with them? Who is that? So the whole problem is now y'all talking about ain't no list. This is some bullshit. Like, what is going on?
The show earlier, this was a few months back.
People ask me all the time, are these cases closed? And whether they're closed administratively is irrelevant. If new tips come in, we're absolutely going to follow them. And that's why I always put out, if you have additional information, please let us know. Those two cases obviously are of significant public interest. There is nothing in the file at this point on the Epstein case. And there's going to be a disclosure on this coming shortly. We are working through there is video. That is something the public does not.
There's video of him killing himself.
No, not the actual act, but the entire MCC Bay. It was only one camera. There's video that when you look at the video, and we will release. That's what's taken a while on this. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans. You're going to see there's no one there but him. There's no DNA. There's no audio. There's no fingerprints. There's no suspects. There's no accomplices. There's no tips. There is nothing. If you have it, I'm happy to see it. There's video clear as day. He's the only person in there and the only person coming out.
Now, I will say this. Like I said, this happened a long time ago before this administration got in there. And then the last administration. You know how many hands have been on this stuff? How many hands that don't want this stuff to get out? Yeah. So if it's not stuff in there by now, just like all them black markers scratched out everything in them files, ain't no telling what happened to that stuff. Do y'all think we gonna ever find out? Let us know in the comments. Okay. Back to business. What was I saying? I might just have to clip that out because anyway, the stuff was probably removed before they even got to it. So ain't no telling what happened. No telling.
I'm frustrated because I feel like I believe Dan. I think he's an honest broker. I just would like more clarity. You can't have victims, dozens, perhaps hundreds of victims, and no one's arrested. No one's perp walked. If there are videos and images, are you telling me there was only Jeffrey Epstein who was perpetrating these crimes, and yet you have this long string of people flying there and doing God knows what? I just want more information. It feels like we're not getting as much information as quickly as we would like it, and maybe it's going to come out. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but right now I think I'm in good company and feeling like this is not going the way I thought it would go.
I hope we get information. Anything that involves child sexual assaults, we need to know who's involved. And even if it is our own intel agencies, even if it's a foreign intel agency, whatever is happening should come to light, because that's just the morally right thing to do. And I think the country deserves that.
I'm Steve Doocy. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm with them. We need more information. We need more. Now, if we ain't going to get more, quit spinning like you already said, you're trying to shut it down, but it's not going to go anywhere. Am I going to be hyper-focused on it? Probably not, but we do need to get it out there. Do I think we're going to find out? No. They going to, like the lady, they're going to use somebody, if anything, just to shut people up, but it's not going to work. And we ain't going to never find out. It's just not going to happen. It's a lot of stuff we're not going to find out. Maybe we're not meant to find out. You let me know. Do you believe them? What you think going on? Do you want the list? Are you going to focus on it? Do you think it's not a big deal? Do you think it's okay for President Trump to try to shut that down? Because he don't want to talk about it. Because like I said, we all know that if this was on the shoe was on the other foot, he'll be beating it like a dead horse. All of them would. They railed about it for years. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think it's anything I'm missing? Any other factors that could be playing in this? Let me know your ideas. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop it in the comments. Yeah. So, all right. I'm not going to cut that video with my mom in there because I am, like I said, just another brown girl in America, and I live a regular life, and that is my mommy, even though she did walk through my video. That's okay. Y'all might meet her one day. So that's it. I'm just another brown girl in America. Your host, Nikki Green. Let me know what you think. Bye. Bye-bye. Oh, 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 oh.